Hello and welcome to Nationwide. I am Olajide Bello. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live or on any of our social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has ordered the arrest of the owner of a collapsed building on Lagos Street, Garki, Abuja, where 2 people have been confirmed dead, with some injured. Dr. Alabi, who was at the site, reports that the minister also pledged to offset hospital bills of the victims. The construction of substandard roads in the Niger Delta will no longer be tolerated and should not be contemplated by contractors handling projects in the region. Minister of Niger Delta Development, Abubakar Momo, gave the warning while interfacing with heads of departments in the ministry. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports.
The renewed hope agenda of the federal government is to the Niger Deltans what a physician is to the sick. For the new minister, Abubakar Momo, the restructuring of the ministry from the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development is a call to greater commitment to the affairs of the people in the region, thanking the president for appointing him to pilot the affairs of the region.
The pace of work has been a bit subdued in the absence of ministers. Now that you're coming, I can assure you that all of us are geared up. We're ready to give you the maximum support in order to achieve the objectives that you have come with from Mr. President.
But in the past, particular projects that are executed by the NDDCs, they are nothing to write home about in terms of roads. Within 2 or 3 more years, they give way. But I think this time around, we try to focus on that seriously, so that if you want to build 1 kilometer network road, let that 1 kilometer be 1 kilometer that can last for the next 30 years.
He warned that the days of substandard projects are over, promising to ensure that the Eleme One Road in Rivers State, Benin Wari Road, among others, are given prompt attention. NTA News.
To drive the sustainable socio-economic resilience of the most vulnerable individuals in the country, the National Emergency Management Agency is presenting relief materials to 12,627 households in Plateau State. The report.
Intervention was necessitated as a result of the 2022 flood disaster, which devastated many communities across the country, including communities in Plateau State. The beneficiaries were presented with sewing and grinding machines, rice, beans, sorghum, and other household materials.
I have forgotten the time that I even seen bag of rice in my house. But we thank God and we thank the organization.
National Emergency Management Agency says after the flood incident, damage and loss assessment was conducted by the agency, hence the distribution as approved by the federal government. The intervention is expected to stimulate value chain activities at the grassroots, and the livelihood support items are meant to help artisans to improve their businesses and grow the economy. In Jos, Alisa Botukai Andrew, NTA News.
Well, let's join Caleb Gochen in Jos to tell us more about the flag-off of the Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Intervention to persons affected by the 2022 flood and most vulnerable persons. Caleb, over to you.
Olajide, thank you very much. As you know, disasters are not occurrences that anybody prays for, but they do happen. And for the people of Plateau State, they've had some share of that. This is 2022 we're talking about, when flood ravaged a lot of communities. But it is one thing to promise, and it is another to fulfill. So the promise to give some succor to the people have come today. And I'm here with the Plateau State Supervisor, Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Distribution, Akiode Sahid, who oversaw the distribution of these materials to the people. So he will tell us how it actually went, because most of the people have come and gone now. But how did it go, sir, with the distribution of these materials today?
It went were on ground, and they got their requirement as federal government's relief materials to.
Okay, thank you very much. So they. Yes. So.
The flag we started with just not.
Well, we do apologize for the hitches in the audio from our Jos Network Center. Moving on, the Kaduna State government has rolled out plans on how to spend the 5 billion naira federal government intervention fund to cushion the current hardship being experienced by the residents as a result of fuel subsidy removal. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Labor unions in the state who were part of the committee set up a few weeks ago under the leadership of the deputy governor to come up with modalities of sharing the palliatives. After concluding all arrangements, I hear the council chamber to inform the public on some of the recommendations reached.
Number one, the elderly. Number two, people with physical challenges. We equally agree as a committee to consider the internally displaced persons in their IDPs. We equally consider the widows and the household they led. We equally consider the orphanage homes.
The state governor, Senator Obasani, who appreciates the work done by the committee, explained how the state intends to spend the 2 billion naira so far received from the federal government as they await payments of the remaining funds.
We have agreed and decided collectively, with the support of all the trade unions, to buy 43,000 bags of 50 kg of rice. We will ensure that we also come up with free transportation. Also look at our locomotive train that was abandoned. And there we will look at our locomotive that will move from Zaria to Kaduna to Savantesha to Kapanchan.
The governor assured the residents of his administration's commitment of ensuring all the categories of beneficiaries listed benefit from the palliatives. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, workers under the payroll of the Anambra State government, retirees, farmers and transporters have commended the state government for ensuring that the economic gap created by fuel subsidy removal is closed. This is coming on the heels of announcement of different palliatives by the governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. Ndem Kalu has more.
The federal government recently announced a number of palliatives to Nigerians to be implemented by governors of the 36 states. Anambra State government immediately swung into action by coming up with its own already planned palliatives for its citizens, as announced by the governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo.
Anambra State government will be distributing rice to over 300, I will even dare to say we're targeting about 400,000 households in the coming weeks across the 326 wards in Anambra.
The people are happy with this move, but want government to explore more areas that will improve on the living standard of the people.
The news was well received by everybody because it's like manna from heaven.
I'm sure it will go a long way to ameliorate the sufferings of civil servants in Anambra State. I'm very optimistic that the workers will smile home and cushion the effect of this hardship.
The people are optimistic that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. In Oka, Ndem Kalo.
And Chinyere Fesiokoye is standing by in Oka to tell us the modalities put in place by the state government to ensure an inclusive participation of the targeted citizens, especially farmers. But before then, let's take, okay, we've already taken Ndem's report on the palliative. So Fesi, you can go ahead.
Okay, before now, the people of Anambra State are being faced with a lot of challenges following the economic hardship occasioned by the fuel subsidy removal. But feelers we are getting from town today is that of excitement following the announcement of the palliatives by the state government. To many of them, especially the public servants, the retirees, transporters and so on, is a win-win situation, and they're saying that this palliative will go a long way in having positive cyclic effects on many households. And with me to throw more light on this latest development in town is the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning in Anambra State, Chiamaka Nnake. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, what do you have to tell us about the latest development in town? The pilot is being rolled out by the state government and the economic impact it will have on the masses.
The palliative announced by Mr. Governor on Monday is actually is an interim response to ameliorate the impact of fuel subsidy on the Anambra. So what is expected to do is actually just to help people to actually keep up. Is an interim response. We have a more long-term, medium to long-term response from the state. However, we understand what is currently happening, the current economic realities, and we think that Anambra needs to actually start feeling the response from the government, and also in the near future, also even a bigger plan. So this is one of so many things we aim to do, but this is like an immediate and shorter response to this impact of fuel subsidy. So this is short term. We have medium to long term plan that the Anambra will see in the next few months. Yeah.
How would the state government ensure that these palliative does not toe party lines in its implementation?
Prior to now, the Anambra State government was already working on a social register, which is actually aimed towards identifying the most vulnerable persons in Anambra State. And this is according to, we have a kindred structure in Anambra State. So we actually drilling down to the smallest community unit in Anambra State. So that will actually be a guide and ensure that everybody affected are from Anambra State and not anything, irrespective of their political divide. I'm not sure that is actually what we are looking at this time, but in the Anambra to be specific. Yeah.
Okay, some people are still asking, why is this palliative coming now? Because some have been expecting that it could have come earlier than now.
Oh yeah, that's a very great concern. However, this impact, the fuel subsidy removal came from the federal. So what the state has been doing is actually to look at the federal and see what the body language is. What is it that is, what is the federal government doing, and how can Anambra State benefit from it essentially? We don't want to do multiple releases, so we wanted to have a more comprehensive response before we actually speak to the Anambra, and this is actually what we're able to achieve. Because if you look through the plan, you see that it's very comprehensive, very broad, multi-sectoral, touching every aspect of concern for the Anambra, and that was what we aimed to achieve with that. The delay you noticed, if that was even delay in the first place. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it from the Honorable Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning. We'll keep updating you as events unfold on this development in the states.
Many thanks, Chinyere, for that update. And away from palliative matters, Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, are already addressing some grey areas in their bilateral relations. The positive signal emanated as the President, Bola Tinubu, today received letters of credence from new ambassadors, including that of the UAE. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga says issues will be resolved soonest.
The work had started even before the presentation of the letters of credence by the ambassador. So this is something that you're going to see changes, issues resolved as quickly as possible.
New ambassadors of Cuba and Ethiopia also presented their letters of credence at the State House. State House correspondent Musbad and Wahab reports that this is the first time President Tinubu would perform such function. Now let's go back to Garki here in Abuja, where Tokwe Alabi is standing by at the collapsed building site. Tokwe, can you keep us up to speed with happenings from that side?
Thank you, Jide. It has been a very busy day here in Lagos Street. Of course, this axis is Unsuka Street, and the information reaching me on getting to this spot for this update showed that the person that owns the house has been arrested. He has been called for interrogation, and efforts of the security agencies is going on, particularly with the order that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, gave when he visited the scene of this incident earlier today. About 37 of them that are still in the hospital are still taking treatments. Of course, we do not expect more casualty, but what is happening is that a lot of them are still being stabilized in their various hospitals. We expect that the directive given by the minister will hold. Of course, there is this sensitization that these people living in this area are supposed to be resettled at Akpo resettlement area, and the minister also wanted this to happen in a short while. Of course, the directive has been given before he came on board as the minister. I have a few of the residents around here who will talk to me about what has been going on, particularly at the scene of this incident. Please, what exactly can you really tell us? So far, so good. What's your name?
My name is Mercy. Only what I can say after minister came to this place this morning is that, like, this house, all these houses, they are old building truly, but they should give them like more than 24 hours that they gave them. That 24 hours is not enough because there are a lot of people in this building. These buildings, look at this two-story building. See this building, see that building. There's a lot of people there. So that 24 hours is not enough.
So far, so good. What exactly do you want government to do?
That they should give them, like, let's just say like a month or 2-3 months. Is okay. They should just give them. They will know. Just to go out now, to go and be looking for house under 24 hours is not enough. They should just give them little time.
All right. Thank you very much. I still have one of them that will also talk to me about what exactly the people in Lagos Street, the Lagos streets are feeling right now.
Anyways,
what's your name?
My name is Jonah Uko. I happened to lodge here for a couple of days now. This is Lagos Street. I think this is just beyond one building collapse. It's just beyond a building collapse. There should be some serious action in the area of government to look at the housing sector and improve a lot, tremendously, because we are noticing a lot of, poor quality buildings here, and if nothing is done, you will get this collapse every day. So that's what I think. I heard the serious incident around 11 p.m. in the night, and from what has happened here, it couldn't have been few people that died. There must have been a serious casualty, a huge casualty that has happened here. So for me, government should look into the housing sector holistically and solve the problem once and for all.
Thank you, Ms.
In the Federal Capital Territory.
Thank you, Mr. Uko. He said government should look into the housing sector holistically, but the excavators are still working. They are still trying to remove the rubble. We expect that they will do that. I mean, in few hours they should be done. One of the persons that rescued a lot of girls who were trapped in the rubbles is here with me. Please, what's your name?
My name is Said Mohammed.
You were part of those people that has rescued a lot of people in that incident. What can you tell Nigerians?
Right now, I have to tell Nigeria about one thing. We lack excavation because this incident took place after 11, and we call everywhere. We call everywhere for excavation, but we cannot get excavation. You can see now my voice is lost. I was standing this particular place with the AMAC chairman. We called Dantata, we called other places for excavation. There was no excavation. And this thing started around 7 minutes after 11. So from there, when we find out, we'll have to use our own manpower and start rescuing some people. You understand? So we rescued the people that we can rescue, and the only people that were here, they were the firefighters, with the airports with their balloon lamp to be able to see some other places, and we did our best. So that's just it.
Okay, right now, how did you feel about the way?
I feel very, very hard, very, very sad, because I didn't expect that, because it was so shocked for me to see my fellow human being dying.
All right, thank you. Time is not on our side. We have to return to the studio. We'll definitely get back to you in the studio as the situation unfolds. Thank you, Jide.
Many thanks, our correspondent there, Takwela, be keeping us up to speed. Now let's head straight to South Africa as the 15th BRICS Summit comes to the last day in Johannesburg, South Africa. President Cyril Ramaphosa, in a media briefing, announced the group's expansion with 6 more countries. This was a key point of the meeting that brought world and business leaders in an effort to reaffirm the importance of mutual understanding and cooperation. President Ramaphosa said the BRICS mechanism aims to promote peace, security, development and cooperation, as well as contributing significantly to the development of humanity and establishing a more equitable and fairer world.
Expansion process, which has been in discussion for quite a while. We have consensus on the first phase of this expansion process, and other phases will follow. We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of BRICS. The membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024.
Ramaphosa said BRICS had, since its inception, had a positive effect on the international system as the countries have individually emerged to assume new economic rankings. And back home in Nigeria, the strategic role of brand building by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations will be harnessed by the current administration to inculcate integrity into the citizens. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris Malagi at the annual general meeting of NIPR reaffirmed that the era of using propaganda in disseminating government policies and programs is gone. Saliu Gwanora reports.
As a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for many years, the function provided an opportunity to rub minds with members of the NIPR on the need to deploy their wealth of experience in providing strategic advice in image and corporate rebranding of Nigeria in order to add value to the government reorientation agenda.
You are aware that the focus of government now is how to restore the confidence of the governed in government and its institutions. You are aware of the vantage and strategic intervention that the communication spectrum can assist tremendously in making the profession more relevant and more focused to achieve national expectations and concentrating on the key issues that predominate our national life today.
The minister acknowledged that current challenges within and outside the country required effective communications and challenged members of NIPR to lead the way.
We are the storytellers, the bridge builders, and the custodians of reputation. Our work shapes perceptions, it guides decisions, it fosters relationships, and extends far beyond the boardrooms. As guardians of reputation, therefore, We must learn very fast to navigate uncharted waters with ethical responsibility and a commitment to truth.
He said the present administration is determined to restore the confidence of the people in democratic governance. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Now let's head straight to the Center of Excellence, where Hingino is standing by for more stories on Nationwide. Hingino, over to you.
Thank you, GD. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has assured Nigerians that the ongoing reforms spearheaded by his office will birth a police force with respect for human dignity, accountability, and transparency as its driving force. The police boss was speaking at the inauguration of the first Police Complaint Response Unit at the Lagos Police Command. Joel Pupola has the report.
Since assumption of office, Acting Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun reiterated that it will no longer be business as usual for officers who defy the Police Act. With the establishment of the Police Complaints Response Unit, which is one of the gains of the latest police reforms, the force will be well positioned to deliver on its mandate. Cases of professional misconduct being splashed on the social media will now be handled by the unit to ensure that erring police officers will be accountable for their actions. The unit's portal, developed by police ICT experts, is fully equipped with real-time application to respond to grievances of members of the public 24/7 from all social media platforms and via phone calls to the call center on 090-874-82365.
We are always appealing to members of the public to cooperate with us, to give us information. We also have to show transparency. The new policing vision is about emplacing a professionally competent, service-driven, rule of law compliant, and people-friendly police force.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Idowu Owonwa, added that the move will engender efficiency and professionalism in the force. Senior advocates of Nigeria, Femi Falana and Olumide Akpata, among other members of the human rights community, assured the police of adequate support.
We will represent those who may file complaints against you. But if you are also reported for frivolous reasons, I will also defend you.
The acting IGP also inaugurated an ICT and medical facilities inside the mobile police force complex in Ikeja. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
Illegal trade in pangolin and donkey genitals is a trend which the Nigeria Customs Service is effectively dealing with in connection with the Wild Justice Commission using instruments stipulated by the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna, known as CITES. But the recent seizure of more than 1,700 pieces of shark fins is a source of worry for the Murtala Mohammed Airport Command of the Customs. Michael Alale reports.
Capitalizing on previous anti-smuggling successes anchored around coordinated action. Discovering the content of these 6 sacks was an easy task for the customs. The controller said the export of the goods, later discovered to be shark fins, were halted when the smell prompted the customs to check through documentation, only to discover that they were ignorantly declared as shark fins. Although a suspect was arrested in connection with the goods destined for China, the worry for the customs lies in finding out the source of the shark fins, knowing fully well that Nigeria might not have a huge number of big sharks.
The implication is like you have over 1,000 fishes, sharks that have been endangered. Animals in the sea have the role that they play. Endangering them means a lot to the ecosystem.
25 sacks of donkey genital organs, which the customs confirmed came from Abakaliki in Ebonyi State, adds to the long list of using the airport to transport such items. A Chinese national was arrested with the goods while being conveyed to Hong Kong.
It's not everything that should be exported to make money, you know. At the end of the day, you're endangering these species. and they are using it there. Whatever they use it there, they export and bring them back to us, and they get our foreign exchange.
Since the goods contravened international law, which prohibits trade in endangered species, the customs confirmed that they will be handed over to appropriate organization together with the 2 suspects. In Lagos, Michael Walane, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, and when we return, Port Harcourt is the next call. Please stay.
Our commitment is to promote the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. On principle, we shall never falter. We will get out of this turbulence. And due to the measures we have taken, Nigeria will be better equipped and able to take advantage of the future that awaits her.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Next week, we will be paying a visit to the Presbyterian Primary School and St. John's Primary School. These are 2 of the schools that Airtel Touching Lives have assisted in their Adopt a School program. And in our new story, we'll visit Chinedu Mogul, is the founder of Green Fingers Wildlife Sanctuary that is making a difference in both conservation of wildlife and recycling of waste material that he uses to create fashion garments. Very innovative.
Touching lives.
NTA Television College JAWS is calling on candidates who obtained a minimum score of 100 in the 2023-2024 JAMB Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME and are interested in our 2-year National Innovation Diploma NID program to select the college as their first choice institution. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects, and they are expected to apply for any of the following courses: film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. We also call on UTME candidates who obtained a minimum score of 180 to select NTA Television College as their first choice and apply for our Bachelor of Science degree program in Mass Communication. These candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant art subjects, including English language and mathematics. Direct entry candidates are also required to select the institution as their first choice before they can gain admission into the college. For more inquiries, please visit NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, JAWS, or call any of the following numbers: 0806-980-9807 and 0803-079-5335. You can also visit our website at ntatvc.edu.ng. Registrar, Announcer.
SportyBet sponsors coverage of the German Bundesliga.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. Governor Siminalayi Fubara has described the ongoing construction of University of Port Harcourt Convocation Arena as value addition to the recent ranking of the University of Port Harcourt. The governor was speaking when he embarked on the spot assessment on the level of work at the arena. Government House correspondent Osinachi Abraham tells us more.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara is vigorously tackling infrastructural and human capacity development in the state, owing to its importance. University of Port Harcourt Convocation Arena at 99% completion is one project that is very strategic and will be inaugurated in Governor Fubara's 100 days in office. The governor is pleased with the level of work done. He notes that the new arena, when completed, will further lift the ranking of the university in Africa.
Today, this university is ranking among the first in the country, and ensuring that this facility is completed would better place them in that position.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara earlier inspected the fixed N565 ROS, River State-owned aircraft that developed technical fault about a year ago. The governor said he decided to fix the aircraft because he believes in continuity in governance.
The essence of governance is having a process that sustains continuity. That the aircraft had an issue with the other administration, and it's a aircraft that belongs to the state. It is also my own duty to make sure that it is completed, fixed, and also put to use.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara is spreading development to all the senatorial districts and across all sectors in the state. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Abraham, NTA News.
Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has commiserated with the families of the officers who paid the ultimate prize and the line of duty, the recent air crash that occurred in Niger State, even as he promised to support their families and dependents. This is in addition to ensuring that the Niger Delta region is rid of oil theft. This was at an interactive session with officers and men of the Air Force during the Chief of Air Staff visit in Port Harcourt. Our correspondent was there. A military with a dampened spirit cannot achieve much for the nation. Hence, the visit of the Chief of Air Staff, Vice Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, to interact with the officers and men of the 115 Special Operation Group to boost their morale and ensure they step up their game in serving their fatherland better. The Chief of Air Staff also commiserated with the widows and families of fallen heroes recently involved in the 14th August plane crash to encourage and assure them of the Air Force High Command's determination to support and see to their welfare.
We are as well deeply pained and deeply feel the sorrow that the families also feel. I want to assure you, the family members, that the Nigerian Air Force will be there for you. Challenges that you may be facing arising due to the loss of their loved ones, we are able to assuage those challenges for you.
For the widow of Flight Officer Laribe, who lost his life in the recent crash, Esther Alaribe says the visit of the Chief of Air Staff is reassuring and relieving.
My son and I will really miss my husband. I just wish it's a dream. Every morning my son wakes up and says, Dada, like a video call we normally do, and I'll just tell him, babe, maybe sleep back. That will call much later. The Air Force Chief also visited the Nigerian Air Force Reference Hospital, among other places. And that's all we have for you from Port Harcourt. It's now back to Lajide in Abuja.
Many thanks, Gabrielle. And let's talk military diplomacy. The Nigerian and British armies have expressed determination to strengthen ties and personnel training and equipment acquisition. This was the focus of deliberation between the visiting United Kingdom Minister of State for Armed Forces and Veterans, James Stephen, and the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. The military ties, Lieutenant General Lagbaja noted, will provide opportunity for the Nigerian Army to tap the British Army's rich experience and expertise in counter-terrorism, peace support, logistics and intelligence.
I appreciate the BMAT, the OP, Taurus, and other British efforts towards our operations in the northeast and other parts of Nigeria. We're very much interested in continuing the partnership, especially the training, and even expanding on it where the UK government and the British Army is disposed towards the expansion. And we are open to other areas of cooperation. We are open to UAV training. We are open to special forces training.
And so I come with a new government in Nigeria and new chiefs appointed to establish new friendships, to invite you to be honest and candid with us about the things that we've been doing that perhaps you no longer care for, and the things that we haven't been doing and that you would like us to do anew, because I think it's important to us that we don't, that what we're doing is the stuff that meets your ambition.
The Army Chief also stressed that the acquisition of equipment and technology through this partnership is expected to improve the operational efficiency of the Nigerian Army in addressing current and emerging security challenges in the country and the sub-region. In view of the ethnic diversity of Nigeria and the evolving nature of security threats, the Nigerian Army is upscaling the language proficiency of its personnel with a view to bridging the communication barrier in their host communities. This is to enhance intelligence gathering for proactive internal security operations in different political zones in the ongoing drive to further secure the nation. So far, more than 1,600 officers and soldiers have been trained in Hausa, Yoruba and Igbo languages since the inception of the course in 2018.
To interact with the local community, not only for intelligence gathering, but to have a harmonious working relationship in a harmonious operating environment, learning the language of the environment matters a great deal in ensuring, in building trust, in communicating intentions and all that.
The Nigerian Army is for the nation, not just for the Hausa, Igbo and Yoruba. We're looking into how we diversify and speak some other languages. But that's just the beginning, and it's a good beginning. We are moving forward.
I'm able to learn at least Hausa and Yoruba. Being in the rural areas, at least can be able to communicate with the indigenous, and I can be able to relate with them.
The Nigerian Army urged citizens to cooperate with security agencies to combat current security challenges. Now we are re-establishing contact with Caleb in Jos for an update on the livelihood emergency intervention to persons affected by the 2022 floods. Caleb.
Thank you, Olajide, and our apologies for that challenge in sound. I'm still here with the State Supervisor of Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Distribution, Akiode Said. He was telling us how the program has kick-started. So he will tell us how many people they have captured already and how many local governments they are going to get in, to benefit from this.
Yes, today we flag off the exercise for Plateau State, and we are covering 17 local governments. Today we have taken off with Just North, where we'll continue tomorrow with Just North again, because only 110 beneficiaries were covered in the local government. So tomorrow we'll continue with the rest beneficiary in that north. While next tomorrow we'll take Just South. Subsequently on Monday, Just East, Riom and Basa will continue with that.
Okay. So why the choice of these items that we are giving particularly? Because they are just not food items, but you're giving equipment and all that. Yes,
yes, we know that when disaster happens, it affects everybody. It may affect the petty traders, it affects artisans, it affects farmers. So all categories of people, even the less privileged, who are looking for their daily pay, will equally be affected. So a lot of people were displaced during this flood last year, and today government has recognized them as it's not giving them a palliative as a measures as out of relief to help them to go back to their businesses. For farmers are getting agricultural inputs like pumping machine, like agricultural seed to help them to replant and help to boost the state economy. For those artisans, we are giving them grinding machine so that they can start again. And for people, we have other things like vulnerable people. We have net, we have food items, not food items. We are giving them rice, millets, maize, cowpea. We are giving to those to really support the
okay, we have just a few seconds. I think it's not going to be out of place to give some advice to those living in flood-prone areas.
Yeah. The advice is that everybody living in flood-prone at this particular period should please relocate to a safer ground, so that they will not be more seriously be affected. And those people building on floodplain area advised not to do so. For those who have built house on floodplain area, they should as well move away to avoid the flood. And people should not dump refuse on the waterways.
That is it from Jos. We thank you for staying with us, but we will take a break now, and Nationwide will continue shortly. Thank you.
We must all join hands to work hard so that we build a country for our grandchildren.
My hope is that we develop as a nation where every citizen is given his due right. There is transparency, honesty, and integrity.
Put the interests of this country first and foremost. Interest of Nigeria is being one nation, one people.
The need, if I mean, to put things right, things that have gone wrong before, to try and put right, for this, for the love of country.
For procurement of contract, partnership, promotion, publication, manufacturing, STBS, start times, lectures, ICT and training, production and sales, TV expos, events, local and international roadshows, exhibition, both local and international. We are at Area 11 Garikia, Abuja, opposite Abuja Geographical Information System, AGES, or visit our website www.ntatve.com.ng and our social media platforms, Twitter at NTA TV Enterprise, Facebook NTA TV Enterprise, Instagram at NTA TV Enterprise, and these numbers on 070-3502-6056, 090-19557180.
Into the penalty area for Nketiah, who scores? Nketiah.
Pereira. Fulham in front through Bobby Dicko-Dovereed.
Saliba for Saka, 20 yards out, running across the edge of the box. Brilliant one in, 2-0. Bukayo Saka.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the English Premier League. Sportybet sponsors coverage of the Italian Serie A.
And welcome to Makurdi. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced distribution of relief materials to households affected by the 2022 flood victims in Benue State. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports that the distribution is under the National Special Economic and Livelihood Intervention Program of the agency.
The flooding of 2022 ravaged many communities across the country, including Benue State. Search and rescue operations were successfully conducted after the disaster in several locations, trapped persons rescued, and necessary care given to them. Based on the data and analysis carried out, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, approved the Special Intervention Program to assist vulnerable persons across the country. Nado Tefa, a visually impaired person, is one of the beneficiaries of the intervention program. For her and others, the gesture will improve their socio-economic condition.
We appreciate so much by helping with Benue State and by assisting our governor, Ilea.
Governor Harrison Alia, who appreciated the federal government for the gesture, stated that as part of measures to further cushion the effects of subsidy removal, his administration will train 2,000 youths in computer-based programs, provide grants for 5,000 women in cooperatives, seeds and seedlings for farmers, pay salary arrears, pensions and gratuities.
Government-approved public schools, secondary schools. For this year, the Benue State government is going to pay the exam fees for WAEC and NECO.
The relief materials will be distributed to the 19 local government areas affected by the 2022 flood in the state. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
To further reposition the education sector in Benue State, Governor Hyacinth Alia has constituted visitation panels to 5 tertiary institutions in the state. The governor, represented by his deputy Sam Ode, charged members to exhibit high sense of professionalism in the discharge of their duties. Simbiat Agbaji reports.
The visitation panels include Benue State Polytechnic Ugbokolo, Akperan Oshi Polytechnic Yandev, Alfred Akawetokula Polytechnic in Makurdi. Others are College of Education Kasinala and College of Education Uju. Deputy Governor Sam Ode, who inaugurated the visitation panels and read out the terms of reference, said the members are tasked with the responsibility of auditing activities of the tertiary institutions from 2016 to date.
This is not a moment for defensiveness or resistance, but an opportunity for growth and for improvement. Remember, the students of these institutions and their future are the main reasons for which we are all gathered here to perform this very important assignment.
Chairmen of the various panel in separate responses thanked the Benue State government for finding them worthy and promised to carry out their duty with all sincerity.
Carrying out our assignment, we will be diligent, we will be painstaking, and we do all that will bring glory to Benue State.
We appreciate the fact that the state takes education very seriously. We shall do our duty with a view to ensuring that the College of Education is repositioned accordingly.
The panel has 10 weeks duration to complete their assignment and submit their report. In Makurdi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
And that's it from Makurdi. It's back to Olajide in Abuja.
Many thanks, Fatima. And now let's join our sport desk for sport update.